Here's something most people get completely wrong before their Disney trip. They spend weeks planning rides, restaurants, and hotel rooms, and then just pick the dates based on school breaks or vacation time. And that one decision, the dates, can make or break the entire experience. Today we're going month by month through the entire year and telling you exactly when to go, when to stay home, and what each window actually feels like on the ground. Let's get into it. January, the best kept secret. Let's kick things off with the month most people completely overlook. January, specifically after the first week, is one of the single best times to visit Disney World all year, and almost nobody talks about it. Here's what happens every January. The holiday crowds evaporate overnight. The week between Christmas and New Year's is one of the most packed periods on the entire Disney calendar. Then January 2nd hits, schools go back, and the parks transform. Ticket prices drop to some of the lowest available all year. Hotel rates at Disney's value resorts can fall $40 to $60 per night compared to holiday pricing. And crowd levels are genuinely low. Popular rides that hit 90-minute waits in December routinely sit under 25 minutes in mid-January. The weather is another bonus. Florida in January averages highs in the mid-70s. No brutal heat, no afternoon thunderstorms, and far less humidity than summer. The one thing to plan around is Martin Luther King Jr. weekend in mid-January, which does see a noticeable crowd bump. Skip that weekend and book the surrounding weekdays, and you found one of the best Disney trips the calendar offers. February, great until it isn't. February is another strong month, with one major trap you absolutely have to avoid. Early and mid-February is excellent. Crowd levels stay low, prices remain reasonable, and the weather is some of the nicest you'll find all year. Disney's Festival of Fantasy Parade is usually running. Epcot's International Festival of the Arts is in full swing with unique food booths and entertainment, and the parks feel genuinely manageable. The trap is President's Week. The week of President's Day in mid-February is one of the most underestimated crowd surges of the year. Schools across the Northeast and Midwest have that entire week off, and Florida is the obvious destination. Crowd levels spike dramatically. If your travel window falls in that week, know what you're walking into. If it doesn't, early and mid-February is a genuinely excellent time to visit. March and April, avoid if you can. Here's where things get ugly. March and April are spring break season, and Disney World is the most popular spring break destination in the country. That means these 2 months consistently produce some of the highest crowd levels of the entire year. We're talking about wait times hitting 90 to 120 minutes for headliner attractions. Restaurants booked weeks in advance. Hotel prices at or near their peak. The parks can feel less like a vacation and more like a test of endurance. Easter week in particular is historically one of the single most crowded stretches Disney experiences all year. The dates shift annually, so check where Easter falls and treat that entire surrounding week as a hard avoid. If spring break is your only window because of school schedules, it's not impossible, but go in with a plan. Lightning Lane becomes almost essential. Rope drop is non-negotiable, and book your dining reservations 60 days out the moment the booking window opens. May, a hidden sweet spot. Once spring break clears out in mid to late April, something interesting happens. For a few weeks, Disney enters a brief window of calm that most families completely miss because they assume summer has already started. Early May, roughly the first 3 weeks before Memorial Day, is genuinely one of the underrated times to visit. Schools are still in session across most of the country, so park attendance drops significantly from the spring break peaks. Epcot's International Flower and Garden Festival is still running, which is one of the most visually beautiful events the park hosts all year. Ticket prices haven't jumped to full summer rates yet, and the weather, while getting warmer, is still manageable before the full Florida summer heat sets in. The window closes around Memorial Day weekend when summer officially begins and crowds and prices both surge. But if you can get there before that last weekend of May, you're in great shape. June and July. Peak season, peak everything. June and July are the most popular months at Disney World. They are also, by almost every measure, the hardest months to visit. Crowds are at their annual peak. Ticket prices hit their highest tiers. Hotel rates are at their most expensive. Wait times for top attractions routinely exceed 90 minutes. And then there's the Florida summer weather itself. Heat indexes regularly hitting 100 to 105 degrees, combined with near daily afternoon thunderstorms that can shut down outdoor attractions for an hour or more. Summer at Disney is survivable, but it demands a strategy and a budget that summer pricing makes significantly more expensive. If summer is your only option, the tactics are the same as spring break, but even more critical. Arrive at rope drop, spend midday at your resort pool during the hottest and stormiest part of the afternoon, and return for the evening. Stay hydrated, use Lightning Lane on the biggest rides, and set realistic daily goals. Summer Disney is doable. It's just the most expensive and exhausting version of the trip. Late August and September, the sleeper pick. Here's one that surprises almost everyone. Late August and September might be the single best value months on the entire Disney calendar, and most families never consider them because they assume summer crowds last until October. They don't. The moment schools go back into session, typically the third week of August for most of the country, Disney's attendance drops off a cliff. September is historically the least crowded month of the year. We're talking walk-on times for rides that had 90-minute queues 2 weeks earlier. Lightning Lane becomes almost unnecessary. Ticket prices sit at their lowest. Hotel rates follow. And the parks are quiet enough that you can actually feel the magic of the place rather than just fighting through the crowds to find it. Yes, it's still hot and still rainy. That's Florida in late summer and it doesn't change. But the trade-off despite dramatically shorter lines, lower costs, and genuinely uncrowded parks makes late August and September a legitimate top-tier window for families who have any schedule flexibility. October, the best month, period. If you ask any seasoned Disney visitor to name the single best month to visit, most of them will say October without hesitating. And they're right. October delivers an almost perfect combination of everything that makes Disney great. Crowd levels are moderate to low on weekdays outside of fall break weeks. The Florida heat finally starts to break, making it genuinely pleasant to walk the parks all day. Ticket prices settle into mid-range tiers, and the park atmosphere is at its absolute peak, with Halloween decorations across every land, Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party running on select evenings, and Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival in full swing, one of the most beloved events Disney hosts all year. The one thing to plan around is fall break, which varies by school district, but usually hits sometime between mid-October and early November. That week does see crowds spike. Check your specific dates against a crowd calendar and avoid the identified fall break week if possible. Outside of that window, October is as close to a perfect Disney month as the calendar offers. Book it if you can. November, great until Thanksgiving. November operates in two completely different halves, and which one you land in determines everything about your trip. Early November through the third week of the month is excellent. Crowds remain manageable after the October fall break rush. Prices are reasonable. The holiday overlays are beginning to appear across the parks, which adds real charm without the full holiday crowd surge. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party starts its run, which adds a special event option for evenings. And then Thanksgiving week hits. It is one of the most crowded stretches of the entire Disney year, full stop. Thanksgiving week at Disney World is standing room only. Every park, every restaurant, every shuttle. If Thanksgiving week is your only window, approach it exactly like peak summer. Rope drop every day, Lightning Lane for the top rides, dining reservations locked 60 days in advance. Otherwise, aim for the first 3 weeks of November and enjoy one of the calendar's strongest windows before the holiday chaos begins. December, magical but come prepared. December is the most visually stunning month at Disney World. The holiday decorations are extraordinary. The castle lighting, the candlelight processional at Epcot, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the Christmas overlays in every land. Disney does the holidays at a level nothing else matches. If Christmas atmosphere is what you're there for, December delivers. Early December, the first 2 weeks, is actually one of the most underrated windows of the year. Schools are still in session, crowds are moderate, prices are mid-range, and you get the full holiday experience without the peak season chaos. That window is genuinely special. Everything changes the week before Christmas. From roughly December 22nd through January 1st, Disney World operates at maximum capacity. Ticket prices hit their absolute ceiling. Hotels are sold out months in advance. Wait times are extraordinary. If you're visiting during this stretch, plan it as the most logistically demanding Disney trip possible and budget accordingly. But if you can get there in the first 2 weeks of December, you're getting one of the best experiences the parks offer. The final verdict. So here's the bottom line. The best months to visit Disney World are mid-January, early February, early May, late August and September, October, and early December. The months to avoid are mid-February through April for spring break, peak summer if your budget is tight, Thanksgiving week, and the Christmas to New Year's stretch unless you've planned and budgeted for it specifically. The magic doesn't change based on when you go. Cinderella Castle looks the same in September as it does in July. The rides are the same, the food is the same. What changes is how much you pay, how long you wait, and how much energy you have left to actually enjoy it. Choose the right window and everything about the trip gets better. If this helped you nail down your dates, share it with someone who's still deciding. And check out our full Disney World cost breakdown in 2026. The link is on screen right now. That video walks through every expense you'll face so you go in with no surprises.